We have always feared the scream of the cosmos, the violent flares of dying stars, the thunderous collisions of galaxies, the blinding fury of supernovas. But the true terror of the universe does not scream. It whispers. Just beyond the frozen, outer ramparts of our solar system, where the Oort cloud drifts in perpetual twilight, something impossible is moving. It is a sphere of absolute nothingness, a puncture in the fabric of reality itself. In physical dimension, it is no larger than our moon. But do not let its scale deceive you. This miniature abyss carries the crushing weight of nearly 600 suns. It is an intermediate mass black hole, a primordial ghost born from the chaotic infancy of time, now wandering aimlessly through the deep galactic void. It does not glow with a brilliant accretion disk. It does not howl with jets of superheated plasma. It is a blind, starving predator, traveling in complete and utter silence. If you were to stand in its path, you would see nothing but a slow, sickening distortion of the background stars, a grotesque warping of cosmic geometry, like a teardrop of dark glass sliding across the velvet sky. It is a silent thief, stealing the light of distant galaxies and bending it into a halo of cold, warped ghosts. You would feel no heat, only a sudden, icy drop in the temperature of your own soul as the horizon of the void looms closer. There is a profound, paralyzing philosophy in its existence. We build our fragile empires on a warm rock, basking in the predictable rhythm of a golden star, believing we are safe in our cosmic sanctuary. Yet, just a fraction of a light year away, a roaming grave is tracing a quiet arc through our celestial backyard. It does not know we are here. It does not care. It obeys only the ancient, unyielding geometry of gravity. A slight nudge in its trajectory, a minor drift toward the sun, and the delicate clockwork of our worlds would unravel. Earth would be torn from its cradle, cast out into the freezing interstellar night, or crushed into atomic dust. We scan the heavens for radio signals, listening for the voices of cosmic neighbors. But the universe remains silent, perhaps because it is holding its breath. The dark is not empty. It is merely waiting. And as we sleep beneath our fragile blue atmosphere, the whisper draws closer. A shadow the size of a moon, with the heart of 1,000 suns, drifting through the abyss. Watching. Waiting. Wandering. How do you hunt a monster that casts no shadow? In the frozen, suffocating dark of the outer solar system, past the icy graves of Pluto and the Oort cloud, a phantom is drifting. We do not see it. We feel it. A celestial predator, compacted to the size of our moon, yet packing the crushing mass of 1,000 Earths. It is a tear in the fabric of reality, a silent vacuum gliding through our cosmic backyard. To find it, our telescopes do not look for light. They look for the sudden, agonizing absence of it. They watch the distant, ancient stars, waiting for them to warp, stretch, and bleed into grotesque halos of distorted fire. This is gravitational lensing, the physical fingerprint of the invisible giant. It is the universe bending its knee to an unseen king. Imagine standing on the precipice of our world, staring into the abyss, and realizing the dark itself is moving. It leaves no trace. No heat, no radiation, no warning. Just a quiet, creeping distortion. Our most sensitive instruments, deep space interferometers, shudder with faint, rhythmic murmurs. We listen to the static of the cosmos, searching for a hiccup, a missing beat in the pulse of the galaxy. It is the space-time continuum groaning under an impossible, concentrated weight. It feels like a low, subaudible hum vibrating through the iron core of our own planet, a silent bell tolling for our fragility. We are blind men in a locked, pitch-black room, listening to the soft, heavy breathing of a beast we cannot see, praying that its path does not cross ours. There is a profound, terrifying irony in this hunt. For centuries, humanity looked at the night sky and saw an eternal, orderly clockwork. We believed the void was empty, a passive canvas. But the void is alive with starving ghosts. This wandering singularity is the ultimate reminder of our cosmic insignificance, a black needle drifting through a fragile haystack of glass. We are staring into the ultimate mirror, a place where time ends and physics breaks. If it grazes the outer edges of our system, it will not swallow us whole, it will do something far worse. It will gently, silently unravel the delicate gravity that holds our home together. It will pluck our planets from their orbits like ripe, dying fruit, casting Earth into the eternal, freezing dark of interstellar space. We are hunting a god of pure negation. And the terrifying truth is not that we might fail to find it, but that its gravity has already touched us, pulling us slowly, inevitably, into its quiet, eternal embrace. Out here, at the jagged, frozen frontier of our solar system, there is no light. Only the Oort cloud, a colossal, silent graveyard of ancient ice, drifting in the absolute zero of interstellar space. For billions of years, these frozen monoliths have slept in perfect, undisturbed isolation, acting as the outer wall of our cosmic sanctuary. But something is moving through the dark. It does not carry a torch. It does not announce its arrival with fire or fury. It is a phantom, a moon-sized puncture wound in the fabric of spacetime, sliding through the shadows like a blind predator in deep, abyssal water. You would expect a black hole to scream, to tear the heavens apart with violent, blinding accretion disks. But this wanderer is starved, naked, and quiet. It is a microscopic eye of absolute nothingness, wrapped in an invisible cloak of gravity. As it slips through the icy nursery, it does not collide with the comets. Instead, it gently breathes upon them. A silent tremor ripples through the frozen void. Millions of miles away from the anomaly, ancient ice begins to groan. Not a sound that travels through air, but a structural vibration, a shudder of molecular dread. Monoliths of frozen methane, untouched since the dawn of creation, suddenly fracture. Their orbits, locked in a delicate gravitational dance for 4 billion years, are subtly, irrevocably warped. This is the true horror of the cosmos, the quietude of its violence. We look to the night sky expecting warning signs, blazing meteors, exploding stars, the dramatic theater of cosmic destruction. But the universe's most lethal executioners travel in utter silence. They do not seek us out, they simply wander, reshaping the geometry of existence by merely existing. As the wanderer deforms the Oort cloud, it nudges thousands of sleeping giants from their ancient beds. It is a slow-motion avalanche of ice, tipped by an invisible finger, sending silent harbingers of doom tumbling inward toward our warm, fragile home. We sleep beneath a thin, fragile blanket of atmosphere, dreaming of our small, terrestrial conquests, entirely blind to the ripple effect cascading toward us from the cold dark. The tremor has begun. The outer wall of our sanctuary has cracked. And the heavy silence that follows is not peace, it is the breath-holding suspense of a cosmic trap about to spring. We are about to learn that the universe does not hate us, it simply does not care. To look into the deep dark of the cosmos is to assume that the void is empty. We comfort ourselves with the quiet. But there is a distinct, suffocating difference between an empty room and a room where the lights have been turned off to hide a predator. Just beyond the frozen, jagged edge of the Oort cloud, a shadow is moving. It possesses no surface to reflect the sun, no heat to register on our infrared eyes, and no voice to pierce the vacuum. It is a black hole, no larger in physical diameter than our own moon, yet packing the crushing, insatiable mass of 1,000 worlds. This is the anatomy of cosmic dread. It does not announce itself with the thunderous fury of a collapsing star. It creeps. It is a silent, wandering tear in the fabric of spacetime, drifting through the dark like a rogue cell in the bloodstream of the cosmos. If you were to stand in its path, you would not see a gaping maw of darkness. You would see something far more terrifying, the stars themselves beginning to bend, warp, and weep. The background constellations would liquefy, twisting into a grotesque, hall of mirrors halo around an impossible, perfect nothingness. And then, there is the gravity. Long before its event horizon touches our atmosphere, its invisible fingers would begin to pull. It is a slow, agonizing seduction. First, the delicate orbits of the outer comets are nudged, sent screaming toward the inner solar system. Then, the tides of our oceans begin to throb with an unnatural, violent pulse. Time itself, the one constant we cling to for sanity, begins to stretch and fray like a rotten thread. Consider the psychological weight of this realization. Every war we have fought, every monument we have built, and every memory we hold dear exists on a fragile speck of dust that is now being stalked by an unseeing, unfeeling throat of gravity. We are forced to confront the absolute fragility of our existence, realizing that our entire reality can be effortlessly swallowed without leaving so much as a whisper behind. This is the true horror of the cosmos, not that the universe is hostile, but that it is utterly, exquisitely indifferent. This wandering void does not hate us. It does not seek our ruin. It simply exists, a monument to our absolute insignificance. We have spent millennia looking up, searching for gods or monsters in the stars, terrified of what we might find. But the ultimate terror was never a presence. It was this absolute, hunger-driven absence, drifting quietly through the backyard of our home, waiting for the gravity of our reality to simply slip away into the dark. It drifts in the absolute dark, just beyond the frozen graveyard of the Oort cloud, a ghost ship sailing a sea of dead stars. We once looked at the night sky and saw a canvas of distant, burning possibilities. Now, we must stare into the absolute cold of nothingness and wonder when the pulling begins. A silent wanderer, no larger than our moon, yet carrying the crushing, incomprehensible density of a collapsed world. It does not announce itself with fire or fury. It does not scream. It merely bends the starlight, a subtle, sickening warp in the cosmic fabric, like a drop of black ink bleeding through a silk sheet of stars. Imagine the sheer, terrifying indifference of this phantom. It has traveled for billions of years through the empty corridors of the cosmos, and now, by cruel cosmic hazard, its path intersects with our fragile oasis. If you stood on its threshold, you would hear nothing but the deafening roar of your own heartbeat in the vacuum. Your eyes would stretch to capture light that is being stretched, broken, and swallowed into a throat of infinite, hungry depth. This is the event horizon of tomorrow. It is not merely a physical boundary in space, it is a ticking clock, an inevitable threshold where our physics, our history, and our very future cease to exist. The gravity of this wanderer does not just pull at matter, it unravels the fabric of time itself. The closer it drifts, the more the delicate clockwork of our solar system begins to slip. Neptune's orbit whispers a subtle sigh of deviation. Uranus stumbles in its icy, lonely path. The outer reaches of our home are already feeling the first, gentle, suffocating tug of the abyss. We have spent millennia building empires, fighting wars, and dreaming of the stars, operating under the comforting delusion that the universe is a stable stage built for our grand performance. But the dark wanderer cares nothing for our plays. It is a cosmic eraser, gliding silently through the dark, dragging an eternal, inescapable winter behind it. How do you prepare for an enemy you cannot see until it has already stolen your sky? How do you sleep knowing that a quiet, invisible mouth is slowly drinking the gravity that keeps us anchored to our sun? We are standing on the shore of a dark ocean, watching a tide that does not rise, but slowly pulls everything down into the deep. The horizon is closing in, and tomorrow is no longer a promise. It is a slow, cold descent into the dark.